All right, Arsenal is leading the race to sign Benjamin Šeško, and obviously Xavi has come out and admitted that he made big mistakes when he was managing Barcelona, and he deserved obviously part ways as a manager of Barcelona. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're truly watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And remember, after subscribing, hit the notification bell. Those notifications will obviously come your way always. This is RD or Rokani David, and happy Women's Day. That video of the day coming your way. So we are here to remind you that Mono Gadgets has really some good affordable smartwatches. You can call them on +256 70 9988 665 and you'll get served with the best gadget provider. They also have used phones, they also have brand new phones and brand new laptops in there. So call them on that number that I've just read to you and you will thank me later. Now, Benjamin Šeško is one of those that Arsenal is obviously chasing as a striker, and they are really having a very huge race for Benjamin Šeško, and they badly want him. To let you know about last summer, you know how Arsenal went in for him, not until obviously extended his contract to 2029. But this summer, we all expect him to leave the club of Arsenal. That is none other than Benjamin Šeško. You understand? We expect him to obviously leave the club of Arsenal in there. So this is Christian Falk coming in through from the Build. He has told us that Arsenal are leading the race to sign Benjamin Šeško. There is interest from other Premier League clubs, but Arsenal are ahead. The Slovenian striker has a gentleman agreement to leave if RB Leipzig receive an offer upwards of 70 million euros. Now, Christian Falk is a tier 1 journalist coming in through from a side known as Germany. That's where Build comes from. And he has obviously given us huge stories, right? About very many people, as you know. You get? And he doesn't really lie. And when it comes to Germany, he is being fed in by the right people. You understand? So I really believe the story. If he tells me that Arsenal is leading the race, obviously they are. And though other Premier League clubs are in, which Premier League clubs are those? If you are to name them, you can talk about Chelsea, you can talk about Manchester United, you can talk about Tottenham Hotspur, and very many others, you know. But that keeps you into a very huge no that nothing is obviously gonna override the club of Arsenal. If you've been following so that is something that you've not been following, you understand. But I want to let you know that the club as Arsenal have put in a lot of work into the signing of this guy from last season, and looks like he's the striker they want to go in for. Now, leading the race is obviously very promising, and it gives you vibes of which other striker they're obviously going to be looking at. But talking of the price, 75 million euros, you know, it is something like 60 million pounds plus, you know. And I think for Arsenal to get in Benjamin Šeško for that, I think it will be something very good. So we are waiting to see how far Arsenal is going to go, but they are leading the race for Benjamin Šeško. Just understand that, have that, swallow it and feel it. Then we go to David Austin on the same story. He said the following, that Arsenal have done extensive work on several striker options, with Benjamin Šeško receiving the most attention. However, interest in Alexander Isak remains, and other clubs are also in the race for Benjamin Šeško. Now, he's corresponding with Christian Falk that it's not only Arsenal that is really fighting to get in Benjamin Šeško. There are very many clubs, and it's a race that has gonna obviously heat up. And in the due course of it heating up, it creates what we call a bidding war, something that RB Leipzig will always want. But he has also hinted on the interest in Alexander Isak remains. I understand, but however much Arsenal likes Alexander Isak, the price is really ridiculous. You cannot tell me that a club is obviously going to spend close to 130 million pounds on one player. If it's 100 million, it's okay. 115, 120 million pounds, that is okay. But if it goes to 130, that is really huge amount of money. I have to let you know, you cannot obviously allow your club to spend like that, because for Šeško, even if it's not 70 million euros, even if it's pounds, if you get Benjamin Šeško for 70 million pounds, you understand, that means you are left with 60 million pounds to obviously get in Martin Zubimendi. You understand? Or Nico Williams, one of the two that Arsenal will want to sign. But getting in the player in the names of Isak, and you don't obviously find yourself in a position of really getting in other players, won't really make sense for Arsenal. I've always told you that if I'm Arsenal, I go in for 3 players in the forward position. 1 center forward, 1 versatile forward like Nico Williams, and then I also look out for another central midfielder who is really all round. I think that's what Arsenal is supposed to do. So they're really in for Benjamin Šeško, and all my minds tell me Arsenal will go in for Benjamin Šeško, because it's not a team that will spend a lot of money again. I think if they are going to play in the Club World Cup, Arsenal would have gone ahead to say, right, let's go to the Club World Cup. If we can come back with that $100 million, or getting like $50 or $60 million onto the money we're earning in the Champions League and so on and so forth, it would have gone ahead to pay off very well, because Arsenal now is in like 70 million pounds ever since they played in the Champions League, and it looks like they've qualified for the quarterfinals, having gone ahead to beat PSV by 7-1, and they're already going to play in the quarters. You understand? So I think that is really very, 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 very important to note. And I think Arsenal is working tooth and nail to see to it that they obviously get in this player called he's a player called Benjamin Šeško. So for Isak, I don't see him really leaving for Arsenal, unless otherwise Newcastle says we obviously not are calling for that amount of money. Now Xavi, who really left Barcelona last summer, he came up and obviously told us the following about why he felt, or he believes that he found himself really leaving the club of Barcelona. He said, I admit I made some mistakes in the management. Busquets' departure forced us to rethink our style of play. I chose to play with a midfield of 3 attacking players, but it wasn't always the best option. Now, I've gone ahead to choose like 1, 2, 3 points from this. 1, he talked about mistakes he made. Obviously, no one is mistake prone in this world. We all know that. But secondly, let's talk about Sergio Busquets. People don't know how important Sergio Busquets has gone ahead to be important to that side of Barcelona. He is the best CDM when it comes to him having the ball and really giving him control. If you doubt it, go ahead and obviously tell Pep about him and how he has gone ahead to obviously build a more versatile Busquets in Rodri. And you've gone ahead to say to it that when Rodri has been away, you've seen what has gone ahead to happen to the club of Man City. Even today, they've gone ahead to lose, and I'm obviously going to be really bringing that story later in the night. So, he says he made mistakes, but Busquets was one of those that led to that, because they brought in Casey, he couldn't handle. Ika Gundogan couldn't handle that midfield pressure. But I also really give him a blame onto why he never really trusted Frankie de Jong, because Frankie de Jong is also good at really holding the ball. That is it. But they went ahead, obviously, have differences with Frankie de Jong. So tell me your thoughts about Arsenal leading Benjamin Šeško transfer race and Xavi admitting that he made mistakes at Barca and he deserved the sack. I'm out.